Danny Segura for MMA Junkie. Today we are chatting with one of the rising contenders in the UFC's featherweight division, and he just signed a new deal with the company. So a lot of exciting stuff for this contender. Looking forward to chatting with him. So let's welcome Shane Burgos. Shane, how's it going?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me on. It's not much to do in these times, so this is keeping me busy. Appreciate it.
Yeah, certainly weird times. You and I are in New York. It seems that's the center of the coronavirus these days. First of all, how are you holding up, and what's life like?
It's boring, honestly, but I'd say I'm holding up pretty good. I got a gym in my basement, so I have like a treadmill and stuff like that. That keeps me sane, but staying cooped up in the house kind of it blows.
Yeah. So you were kind of caught in a lot of fighters were caught, trying to find fights. Some fighters were caught with this virus with fights booked. You kind of just got caught with a new deal that you signed here with the UFC. First of all, how's that like? Because because you decided to test free agency, you've been out for a little bit. Is it kind of a bummer that you're not gonna be able to get in probably as fast as you wanted?
Yeah, it's a weird thing. I was thinking, I was like, man, I kind of hope I was booked. On the other hand, when you got these three cards back to back that have been canceled, I can't imagine having a fight, getting this far in the training camp, and then being like, all right, never mind, the fight's off, and you don't know when you're gonna fight. So I'm kind of happy I wasn't booked on one of these fights. I'm a little bummed that I'm not booked for May yet, but it's just such a weird time that mentally, like you can't get a full training camp in right now. It's just such a weird time that I'm kind of relieved that I'm not booked. So I'm doing my own thing. I'm staying ready, but to not have that stress of having to be in fight camp, it's a little bit of relief right now.
Yeah, and certainly very strange times. Some people, including UFC President Dana White, thinks this is just going to blow over fairly quick. Where's your mindset? Do you think we're in this for the long run, and you expect to sort of make a late return, or do you think you'll fight fairly soon?
I hope not. I really hope he's right. I hope this shit's done and over with, but I hope it's done and over with tomorrow. Honestly, I know that's not realistic, but I don't know. They're saying that it can't live in 80-degree weather, so I feel like maybe once the weather starts getting a little bit nicer all over the world, maybe it'll be gone. I don't know. I'm not a fucking scientist, but I really hope it's done by the summer because I want to be back ASAP. I got bills to pay. I got a family to provide for. I got to fight to get paid. So
Yeah, certainly. And talk to us about the new deal. It's exciting. What's the new deal like, and are you happy with what you got?
yeah, man. So it's a 4-fight new deal. It's actually the first interview I'm doing about this. It's pretty cool. 4-fight new deal. I turned down uh, a nice offer from another promotion for even more money just because I wanted to stay in the UFC. And a big thing for me, I haven't really expressed this too much, but a big thing for me, the reason why I want to stay at the UFC is because of USADA. I feel like a lot of other promotions, their drug testing, it's too lenient and it's too easy to get away with. And I as much as USADA is a nuisance, it makes it harder for the cheaters to cheat. I know this guy's definitely still getting away with it, which kind of sucks. But you're gonna have the least amount of cheaters in the UFC. I fully believe that. And outside the UFC, it's basically it's a free for all. You can kind of do whatever you want because you know when you're gonna get tested, so it's easy to get away with the testing. So I turned down an offer for a decent amount of money, a nice amount of money. I turned that offer down so I could stay with the UFC. And but honestly, I'm more than happy with the deal that the UFC is giving me. I'm gonna be getting paid good.
Yeah, nice. Well, that's good to hear. Was that difficult to sort of because that's pretty interesting that you mentioned that. Usually in this landscape, people usually just take what the highest bidder, right? But you didn't do that. Was it a hard decision? Did you really have to think it through?
I definitely had to think it through. It wasn't like oh yeah, no brainer. Like I said, I have a family. I got to provide this. This is how I make my living. So I was tossing and turning, thinking about it. I was like, ah, man, there's pros and cons to both. But me and my wife literally wrote down a pros and cons list, and just the pros with the UFC just made more sense. And especially with, like I said, the USADA thing. I don't. Man, that really it drives me nuts. The cheaters. I can't stand the cheaters in the sport. So that was a big factor for me. But like I said, the UFC gave me a great offer too. I'm making significantly more than what I was making before. So I'm happy with the offer still.
Nice. And the last time you fought was here in New York against Malcolm Amirkhani. And after the fight, you told us, "Look, I want to stay with the UFC, but I do want to test free agency."
Yeah.
How was your experience testing free agency? And would you say everything worked out the way you wanted it to?
It was cool. It was cool. It was fun.
Yeah.
It went a little bit longer than I expected it to, so that kind of sucked. I was hoping to maybe fight early in March, so that would have actually been perfect. So I wouldn't have to deal with all this Corona shit. But
Yeah.
it was fun. It was fun. But then after like 3 months of not having a deal done, I was like, all right, this is getting old now. I want to just get this shit done with. Give me a deal, and actually I signed with first round management, and I think that was a huge part of getting me this good UFC deal.
Yeah. Was it scary? Because I mean, once you're in free agency, anything goes. The UFC could very well go, no, we're good. I mean, take the other offer, right?
Yeah, it definitely was scary because I got an offer from the UFC, and we both, I agreed to it. My management agreed to it. UFC agreed to it, and it still was taking like 2 weeks for them to send it to me. So I was like, wait, are they like renegotiate, trying to renegotiate or something like that? I was happy with what they're offering me. I hope they give me the contract. I asked my manager all the time, I was like, yo, please I want to put ink to paper. I want to get this deal done with.
Yeah. Is this something you would recommend to most fighters? Because it seems like usually when fighters want to test free agencies because they want to go elsewhere, but there's been a few cases like yourself where fighters are like, no, I want to stay with the UFC, but regardless, I do want to test free agency.
I think it's business wise. I think it's a smart thing. Why not test it? You know what I mean, it gives you an idea of how much you're really worth too. So I think that's a huge thing. I think all fighters should at least try it.
Yeah. And I'm guessing they try to renegotiate a contract before your last fight, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't a hard renegotiate. We just said we're just gonna wait till after the fight, and
Okay.
they were cool with it.
Yeah. Did it make the last fight a little bit I don't know, more interesting, a little more nerve-wracking?
Did it? Yeah, it did. That definitely added more pressure to me because I literally that when you go into your last fight, the way I did, you kind of putting all your chips on the table and betting on yourself 100%. It was basically win or die, and it added a lot more pressure. But I feel like I thrive under pressure. I really do enjoy pressure. The bigger the show, I feel like the more I thrive under those lights.
Yeah. And it's 4 fights, right?
Yeah, actually, they offered me an even bigger deal that actually the UFC did for more money, but I turned it down because it was just too many fights.
Right. You want the shorter fights. And talk to me about that because I know you're a man that likes to plan ahead. What are these 4 fights gonna look like for you? What are your how much do you want to achieve within that contract?
Within I want to be done with this contract ASAP. Honestly, I want to go 30 fights and then maybe renegotiate after the third fight. But it's just like you said, it's such a weird time right now with this whole Corona shit. Like I have no clue when I can fight next. I don't know. It's just hard to gauge it because I know they're gonna still put that April 18th card on. But what happens with the card after that, the Lincoln, Nebraska card? Is that still gonna go on? Because that's not as big of a card. So I just don't know when the hell I'm gonna fight next.
Yeah, certainly. It's very uncertain, but it seems from what the experts are saying is that it's going to last maybe a few months. Let's say it all goes well, and then summer we're able to return to normalcy. Is there anyone that you have in mind that you'd like to fight, or any type of opponent? Because I mean, you're on a good win streak, and you've gotten some good names under your record.
Yeah, whoever's ahead of me, man. I just saw the rankings now. They came out. I think I'm 10th now. So give me 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Somebody ahead of me. I fought my last fight. I was I think I was ranked 12th, and Macwan wasn't ranked at all. But I was at the point where I was like, I don't even care, man. I'll solidify the fact that I'm a top 15 guy. I'll fight this guy that's not ranked. He's coming for my spot. So now I want to fight somebody ahead of me.
Yeah, but no names come to mind. I mean, you fought Cub Swanson. That was obviously a nice name added to your record. Is there anyone that you see ahead of that you'd be like, okay, that'd be an interesting fighter? Or are you just looking at numbers at this point?
I'm just looking at whoever's ahead of me. But
yeah.
Most of them are booked. I feel like there's only a couple, man. You got Cater and Stevens who are fighting April 18th. Me and Cater had a great fight already. So obviously I'd love to run that one back. Me and Stevens would be a lot of fun too. You got Yair Zabit. That's probably gonna happen. Those would be fun fights. You got Ortega. I feel like any of those matchups would be a fire fight.
Yeah. And it seems that from what we're hearing, it seems that the UFC wants to book that immediate rematch between Alexander Volkanovski and Max Holloway. But if you really look below that, I mean, there are some solid contenders. Don't get me wrong, but there's really not that one clear contender that you go, okay, that guy's definitely next. Do you kind of feel the same way? And do you feel like right now the kind of featherweight division is a little bit open and up for grabs?
Yeah, I feel like there's no clear cut one. You got Zabit, you got Yair, and you got the Korean Zombie, who are I think the 3 front runners right now. And I think you're gonna have Zabit fight Yair, and the winner of that is probably gonna fight the winner of Alex versus Max, if I had to guess. because I know they both got a big following. So that business wise, I guess that makes sense. But they got the Korean Zombie versus Brian Ortega. So I guess whoever wins out of those makes it's such a weird time. It's a weird landscape right now. But I feel like whoever makes the statement is gonna get the shot.
Yeah, for sure. How do you see that Holloway Volkanovski rematch going? Because it seems Holloway was a very dominant champion, and I mean Alexander Volkanovski had an amazing performance, and a lot of people kind of were taken away by the fact that he was able to dethrone the champ.
Yeah, I honestly, I was surprised too. I thought Max's range and his and the height difference was going to be a huge advantage for him. And Alex actually he did a phenomenal job. So you got to give him credit for that. And I expect that he wants to go out there and he wants to fight Max right away again because, like he said, if he beats him twice, you got to give him the respect that he deserves. So,
100%.
and it wasn't a fluke the first time. It wasn't like he came out and knocked him out in the first round or anything like that. He beat him. It's a 5-round decision. So, but I really do think Max is really he makes adjustments really really well, and I think it's gonna be a different fight the second time. Who am I leaning towards? If you had to ask, I'd probably lean towards Max in the fifth fight. In the second fight for 5 rounds. But Alex did a great job. He impressed me in that fight. So that's like a 49-51 fight. It's a close fight.
Yeah, certainly. I feel like a lot of people probably feel the same way. Like it's kind of up in the air, but we'll see. And certainly Max does great adjustments and looks good in rematches. So we'll see how that fight goes down. Lastly, I mean, these are weird times. We've been discussing how you're kind of bored. So I don't know if you're the guy to ask for these kinds of tips, but anything you can share, to your fans or just people in general on how to deal with the quarantine and kind of, these tough times.
Hey man, if you guys are bored, you want to get an at-home workout, you guys can go check out tsk.com. It's my team. There's a bunch of at-home instructional videos for beginners, for intermediate and advanced students. So if you guys want to learn how to fight, learn some tips, get a good workout in, check out tsk.com. And just stay active. I know we're not supposed to really leave, and in the city it's a lot harder. Like for me, I went on a hike yesterday and I didn't run into anybody, so that was still social distancing. In the city it's a little bit different, so hard to say. But I would try to get outside. I personally can't stay in the house for more than like 5 hours at a time. So try to get outside and definitely try to get some kind of workout in.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
check out UFC Fight Pass, man. They got a lot of good fights on there. Check out my fights.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, it's now that you have signed a new contract, it's definitely a good time to relive your fights. You had amazing performances as of late. Thank you so much for joining me, man. Congrats on signing a new deal. Excited and looking forward to seeing what's next for you in these next 4 fights.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. We got to come up with like a MMA trivia or game show or something like that. Just keep us occupied, keep the fans busy too. Let me know.
I'll put some word in over at MMA Junkie, and maybe we'll have you on and see what we can come up with as far as that. Maybe some interesting little programming there to keep you entertained, because it seems you're bored in the quarantine.
Yeah, I'm a super diehard fan. I would kill the MMA trivia, so hit me up if you guys want to do that. I'm down for sure.
All right. It sounds like a challenge. All right, Shane Burgos, I appreciate the time, man. And
how you going, bro?
Thank you for doing this interview.
Stay safe, stay healthy, man.